All right, there's a new movie coming out called, this is what it's called, The American Society of Magical Negroes. That's the name of the movie. I want to show you a clip of this trailer, which has gone viral for all the wrong reasons. Let's watch it.
I know you can feel their discomfort, Aaron. Watching you walk through a room full of white people was the most painful thing I've ever seen.
Excuse me. Sorry.
I don't want to take you to a job interview. There's a recruiting class starting right now, and we got to get you in it.
Welcome to the American Society of Magical Negroes.
I don't really understand.
It's easier to say. What's the most dangerous animal on the planet?
Shark.
White people, when they feel uncomfortable. White people feeling uncomfortable precedes a lot of bad stuff for us. That's why we fight white discomfort every day. Because the happier they are, the safer we are.
That's real, apparently. That is actually a real thing that they're making, have already made, I guess, and will be coming out. And that's the plot of the movie, basically. The premise is that white people are so volatile and violent that black people are constantly having to appease them in order to keep the peace. That's the whole point of the movie. That somehow white people are dangerous and black people are always walking on eggshells in order to not offend or upset them. This is the premise of the film. Now, okay, first of all, obviously this movie is absurdly racist. Obviously, you're not going to see a movie where black people are called dangerous animals. I mean, they put that right in the trailer. White people are the most dangerous animals on the planet. This is not subtle. I mean, this is not subtle anti-white racism. This is full-on dehumanizing, calling them dangerous animals. And you're not going to see that in the reverse. Obviously, a whole plot about how white people have to civilize black people is just not ever going to exist. It's not going to happen. And this movie can only exist going one way. It's also just as obvious that the film will be a flop, because who is the audience for this? Like, the audience is going to have to be racist black people and I guess woke white people who want to impress racist black people. So racist black people and the very woke white people who want to impress the racist black people. But you probably can't even, come to think of it, you probably can't even get the second group. The woke white people, they're not going to come and watch this because first of all, they're not going to want to say the title, right? So like they're not going to feel comfortable going up to AMC and going up to the guy at the cash register who could very well be a black guy and saying, yes, I'd like 2 tickets to the Magical Society of, or the Society of Magical, that one. What was that? What did you want it for? The Society of Magical Colored People of Color. So it's a movie that only woke white people would see, but they definitely won't see it. So you're left then with racist black people as your sole demographic, except that you actually need racist black people with bad taste in movies, even more so. And I don't know what percentage of racist black people have bad taste in movies. I'm not really sure. But you've taken one relatively small demographic and then a smaller demographic within that demographic and then an even smaller demographic within the demographic within the demographic. And it's just probably not going to translate into a blockbuster film. I don't know what the financial projections were for this film, but there's no way they looked at the script and said, oh yeah, this is a $300 million movie. We're making $300 million on this thing. The holidays are rapidly approaching, but we can find peace and calm in the craziness of the season with Hallow, the #1 Christian prayer app in the world. Immerse yourself in Christmas and Advent prayers, meditations, and peaceful Christmas music. Hallow offers an extensive library of Bible reading plans, accompanied by insightful reflections and audio-guided meditations. Whether you're a seasoned Bible reader or just starting your journey, Hallow provides a platform for you to engage with Scripture like never before. A great place to start is with Father Mike Schmitz's Bible in a Year, in which he offers brief daily readings and reflections available on the Hallow app. The Hallow app also helps you connect with a community of like-minded individuals, sharing experience, insight, and encouragement along the path to spiritual growth. This Christmas, join Hallow's Christmas Prayer Challenge, Advent with C.S. Lewis for the 25 days leading up to Christmas. You can focus on the real reason for the season with prayer, meditation, and Christmas music on Hallow. Download the app for free at hallow.com/Matt Walsh for 3 months free. That's hallow.com/Matt Walsh. But of course, they're not trying to make money with this film. They also aren't trying to tell a good story or make a quality movie. And that's the odd dynamic that you see in Hollywood now. See, I mean, it used to be that Hollywood would put out some movies just for the money, just for the profit, right? The big tentpole blockbuster films. And then they'd put out other movies for the artistic credibility. Films that probably wouldn't make a lot of money, but they'd be critically acclaimed and people would like them. And they'd win some awards. And you can build your reputation that way. And that's the way that movie studios used to work. You had movies that were supposed to make money, and then movies that really weren't supposed to make money, or at least were not expected to. Well, now you still have movies that are supposed to make money, and that are only designed to make money. Those are the superhero movies. And then you also have movies that aren't supposed to make money. But the difference is that the movies that aren't supposed to make money also are not made for artistic credibility anymore. Now they're made for political credibility, which means that even your low-budget films and your films that don't make money are also soulless and cynical, just like the big blockbusters are. So it's all soulless and cynical all the way down, and this movie clearly is. But the main thing here is just the fantasy land scenario that the left plays in when it comes to racial issues, and when it comes to really any issue, but especially on racial issues. Now, obviously, the whole movie is a fantasy movie. It has magical in the title. But it's also obviously supposed to be saying something about reality. And the thing that it's saying about reality is just absolutely ridiculous. Like the idea that black people are walking around all cautiously around white people because white people are likely to lash out violently against it. It's absurd. As if a black person ends up in is like driving and ends up in a white suburb and he's lost or something, and he sees that he's in a suburb and he kind of locks the door and rolls the window up. Oh no, we're in the suburbs now. Look at all these white middle-aged women jogging. I'm nervous. I got to get out of here. It just doesn't happen. They've created this fantasy land, this upside-down, opposite-ville scenario, which is always the leftist strategy, which is not to tell little lies. I mean, they tell little lies too, but it's not so much the little lies. They tell really big ones. And they completely deny the most obvious realities. They rewrite reality right in front of our faces. And they create this reality that does not comport with anyone's actual experience. We hear so much about lived experience. Okay, that movie, that's not anyone's lived experience. But this is what they do, and they rewrite it, and they insist on the rewrite, and they insist that we all accept the rewrite and pretend to believe it. And I guess the idea is if you pretend to believe it for long enough, then you really start to believe it. Those woke white people I mentioned, they're not going to go see this movie, but they'll see the trailer, and they'll at least pretend that the premise makes sense to them. They'll say, oh, yeah, that's right. White people are the most dangerous. Black people are always having to calm us down and stop us from lashing out. Like, they'll pretend that the premise resonates. And I don't know, you pretend enough, eventually do you fool yourself? Maybe that's the way it works. Hey, YouTube, thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like access to my full show with no ads, you should go to dailywire.com and use promo code Walsh to get 2 months free on all annual plans. See you there.